And now we go with Lucía Callén.
Hi, how are you? Hi, I am Lucía Callén. I am from Spain. I am PhD in neuroscience as well as actress performer. I specialize in Butoh dance and also in physical theater. And after years of leaving neuroscience aside to dedicate myself professionally to the study of community communication, theater, and dance, now I'm starting to realize that I have to incorporate science to the stage and also to research of the body. And so in my artistic project that I will share, let me see, I can find it now. Yes, here. Here. My artistic project, its name is Las Sombras and Company. I developed I tried to investigate the original principles of Butoh dance to put them in common with the universal principles of physical theater to be at the service of contemporary scenic creation, and also to integrate science with art. Here you can see. I am very interested in delve into the mystery of consciousness and perception, and also about studying the social communication. Here you can see some of the performances. I try to search for specific in spaces to inhabit them. And also I use different techniques for physical theater as well. Here you can see some of them. And in my research, I look always for the dialogue between the mind and the body, and also between the body and nature. And because that is very important in Butoh dance. I will introduce a bit what Butoh dance is. Butoh dance is an avant-garde performative dance started in post-war Japan in 1959 as a counter-culture movement to deconstruct the theatrical and dance tradition and to recover an ancestral form of emotional communication and social interaction through the movements and gestures. So Butoh dance studied movement and pre-verbal forms of communication of the body, that while the body is moving into the space. So the space is very important for it. Trying to recover also the original movements of not conditioned ways, that this not conditioned movement that is that we have in culture, and also because we are carrying an identity, that is very, very heavy for us. And also try to recover different forms of ancestral communications, like we are animals, and also we are kind of another forms of beings. So how this Butoh dance is related to neuroscience? Well, Butoh dance is a dance for the exploration of this body-mind, but also in particular for exploration of the unconscious landscape that we present in our bodies, like physical traces in the body. And so we wanted to make them to be conscious and to make them to be light, using the involuntary movements and also being in constant metamorphosis. That's what we name the embodiments, because we are in a dialogue, constant dialogue with the internal impulses, what is happening inside of our body, the intracorporeal space, and also very aware of what is happening outside in the space, because every stimuli can modify our dance. So we are like in this two space, sharing the space, very permeable. That means that we are training a process that in neuroscience we name the hyperconsciousness and also physical synesthesia. That is very important for developing the auto-perceptions, how we observe ourselves. It's kind of state, meditation state, but we are in movement. So it's a process that happens in the insula in our brain, and so make us to start to stay observing ourselves all the time. No, that means that in these processes we can also make what Daniel Stern, a psychologist, used to name like intersubjective matrix experience. We create experience for sharing with all the beings that are in the same space as us. In the Butoh dance, we don't believe in that mind like private place. We believe in that we are living in a common place. So we share it with our minds. We can share our mind, we can share our bodies, we can share the space. And this is also grounded in neuroscience because of the discovery of mirror neurons. You know that mirror neurons are these neurons that are activated when somebody makes an action. So when you see this person making this action, the same neurons in your brain are activating as if you were making this action. And also there are another process in the brain that the name is adaptive oscillations that make synchronicity of minds. That is what happened also in theater. We are sharing a common space of action, but the difference, like in theater and in Butoh dance or in another kind of dance, is very important, because the difference is that when we are performers in theater, we do an action voluntary with an intention. But in Butoh dance, we don't do an intention action. Is involuntary. We don't want to, we are unexpected, like performers, we don't expect what is going to happen with this action because we are not programmed. The egoic will is not present. So that means that we are being surprised at the same time as the audience, and we are sharing this discovery of the space. And this is what I love of this dance, because we are all the time discovering and all the time taking the space like form or inhabit another form of this place. No, we in the Western, we usually see nature something to make exploitation. But however, in the dance, we want to make it like our refuge for imagination, for make imaginations together and co-create together. So this is something that I use also in the residence, and I play with this in the residence. Space for Art was really a gift to be able to share with another artist. And so I tried to collaborate with different artists. And also I focus myself in doing a performance, a video arte, that you can also see here. Bacanas, o Hijas de Parra. It was like kind of fertility rite, to recover the space of the nature and to make it a place for ritualistic play. No, when I was seeing the landscape of Cariñena, the place where we were doing the residence, I was very enchanted because it's very beautiful. But the thing also that it came to my mind, it was like the vineyards are really like very straight, like runways. And for me, it was very strange not to think about so many years of exploitation of the ground and to think about the ground like something to run and to compete of ourselves. There is a problem in Cariñena and also in other places in Spain with the vineyards, is that we produce more grapes and we produce more wine than that we can consume. So most of the wine is thrown away because they can sell it. And why we are doing this? No, why we are making this stupidity? No, this is that we cannot use the cycle of the nature. So I wanted to recover the space, not for exploitation of the ground, but for playing, and also for making the grape, the symbol of the grape, to recover, to re-signify as something ritualistic. And also join to the first experience of mites, of the Butoh experience, the first women that experience this sexuality also of the fruits in the ground. No? So I take the archetype of the birds, of the crown, like the crown is stealing these fruits to the humans, and also to make the fruit become again into the earth. I also was experimenting with other artists, and I was very surprised when Delia and Alberto making us and guided us this performance in the landfill. And I really enjoy this because this is also like to rethink about how we experience the landscape, no, and also how we experience our own wastes. And for me, it was like experimenting also metaphorically our psychological waste inside, no, how we are plenty of past, we are plenty of things that they are already useful for us, but we just keep aside because we don't want to see them. But like as creators, as artists, we need to make an effort to take all these things that seems waste and create with them, no? Because we need to make the cycle again harmonic. So anymore, I was very, very delighted and very enchanted to be able to share with other artists this process and to co-create with them in a multidisciplinary way. And so just to say that I'm very grateful for this kind of residence, that we need more spaces for this, for the artists, because we need to experience this place, the spaces like refuges for humanity also, again, no, to take in contact with our animal instinct, with our nature inside. So thank to all of you for being able to give us these spaces. And I wanted to read just my poem. It's a poem from Chantal Maillard, and it says like this: lucidity is a spark, a state of consciousness in the multiplied rooms of consciousness, or that make consciousness. The rooms that are lengthened, prolonged, continued, and thus that continuity is called consciousness. I don't trust the stays, they narrow, they shorten, they invite, they disappear. Lucidity is an instant between stays, windows in the monad that, if it remains under the light of the focus, becomes a stay. It too, and suffers to the same convulsions. However, what I sense now will be erased tomorrow. Then, now, as soon as it becomes thought, consciousness, stay. We trap the sensation that invades the entrails deep down, deep inside, very homogeneous. We trap it and we make it that sensation. We name it, we describe it, and we lose it. Chantal Maillard.
I love Chantal Maillard. Great philosopher and poet.
Yeah, you were just on time, even earlier, and thank you for the poem and giving us a glimpse of your art. It was so nice to see them. I will be watching this again, I think, because we are at the background also doing some technical things. So thank you a lot. It was really nice.
Thank you to you.
And so my question is, Lucia, is the nature connection actually, that there is this, we could see from your artworks that the nature, you you had a lot of visuals from in nature and connected to Butoh. So can you give a few like more insight about that, how it is connected, like how it is intertwined into each other? Would you like to talk about it a little bit more?
You mean the interaction between the body and nature?
Yeah, you can take it from the body as it is Butoh. If you want to, I would like to hear more to raise this
Yeah.
connections. I would like to emphasize about it.
Yeah, it's about this idea I told about the Butoh, that we are in constant dialogue between what is happening inside us, inside our body, and outside. So for me, it's very important to use as natural spaces, because there we are very open on what is happening in the world. And in Butoh dance, we are not important as a performers. The important is to resonate with the things that are happening in the nature, and that because in nature are happening so many things. So we are trying to make visible. So we are like a channel of the energy that is happening, and so that like we are humans, we can resonate better with other humans' minds. So it's like we can focus, we can make a microscope of what is happening in nature. Our bodies are reflecting, are mirrors. In Butoh dance, we said that we are mirrors, no? We are like this, we let the people to look inside what is happening in not only in the nature outside, but also in the nature inside us. Like we can go in our minds, like landscape, what is happening inside our bodies, no? And so that happens because of these narrow mirrors, and because we are connected all the time, although we don't know, but we are all the time connecting. Every movement, everything is happening in nature is connected, but we can't we should experience, we cannot explain with words, no? And that's what Butoh dance led us to experience the whole body, because we are like permeable. We make permeable for everything what is happening.
Yeah, thank you for this answer. And
so thank you very much from the heart, Eran, Lucia, Mariona, Daria, all the comers to the meeting, and the viewers later. This has been a great pleasure, and see you next week. Anything to add, Daria?
so I can add that you can watch this talk. If you miss some part or any part of it, you can watch it in our social media accounts, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and media accounts. So thank you, everybody. Teşekkürler. Gracias.